DOGE efforts having a big impact on jobs. A new report this morning that U.S. layoffs hit the highest level they've seen since 2020 in the month of February, and more than a third of those jobs were federal. Steve Leisman's here. He's got more on just how much DOGE could be in tomorrow's jobs report. Of course, Steve, we're going to be looking for it.
Right, and those to come. The Challenger report showing that the DOGE effect was the top reason for the surge in layoffs to 172,000, David. But it was a mix of layoffs from government and private sector, including 63K from the government. That includes federal and private government contractors. Retail, 45,000. They were hit by some bad weather, of course. And 22,000 from tech. We've had layoff announcements from HP, Meta, and Workday among the giants that announced in February. The DOGE impact, the top reason cited for job cuts, it was followed by market and economic conditions and bankruptcy. Now, the bulk of government job cuts are likely too recent to show up in tomorrow's job report. Workers won't be counted as unemployed till their severance runs out and they perhaps file for it. But roughly 30K federal workers, 30,000, they leave their jobs monthly. President Trump froze government hiring on day one of his presidency. That means vacated jobs won't be filled, creating some negative government numbers that might drag on the headline tomorrow, maybe more than is expected. Economists looking for declines of 5,000 to 10,000 in the government sector. But Evercore ISI, in a research piece, suggests total job losses from DOGE could be as low as 50 this year. That's if the government gets back into hiring, or as high as 660,000 in a worst-case scenario created by what it calls DOGE policy uncertainty. Quote, DOGE-related uncertainty, they said, over contracts and grants could have an additional paralyzing effect on hiring at employers exposed to these funding sources or in need of regulatory approvals from agencies that are themselves paralyzed by DOGE review. Most forecasters, though, settling on a midpoint between total job losses over the course of the year of 250 to 350,000, or roughly 20 to 30 a month, a noticeable number. But for tomorrow, look for a modest decline with more guys to come in the months ahead. Carl?
Really quick, Steve, what explains the relative strength in claims today, do you think?
It just seems like it's come back. I think the overall economy is doing pretty well. We have had some declines in job creation, it seems to me, for the month of January and the month of February. But I don't think that we're outside of the area where you should feel okay about it. 250 and higher, Carl, the numbers you want to look for. So 240 last week was towards the high end, but not all that worrying. 220 is getting back to trend.
All right. Big morning tomorrow. We'll watch it with your help, Steve. Thanks. Steve Leisman this morning.